And we're back. We're back. We're back. And we're still saying so. And we're still saying so because it matters. It matters very much. Hey, listen, guess where I'm recording today? I'm in my car. And I'm at Baker's Island, actually. So let me just go ahead and give you the heads up. You might hear people. You might hear cars. You might hear lawnmowers. I'm not really sure what you'll hear. But I hope my voice is one thing that you'll hear. And also, forgive me because I sound a little weird. I've just been fighting off the crud. I've been fighting off the crud, and I have this lingering like man voice still. But it's going. It can't stay around too long. But anyways, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad to be back. And I'm glad that we get to still say so because it matters. And you might think, where'd you get that from? Glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. I got it from the book of Psalm, chapter 107, verse 2. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom he hath redeemed from the hand of the enemy. This girl has been redeemed from the hand of the enemy out of many, many situations and circumstances. And I just want to share them with you. Just want to share them with you. So listen, there is one thing that I want to add today. I want to share with you what the definition of redeemed means. Now, I pulled this off of the Googler, all right? But it's right on. I actually matched it up with one of my study Bibles. Perfect. And yes, I have some notes. Do I ever show up without notes? You don't want me to. You don't, because then it's just us sitting around having a Pepsi, and it's hard to tell. We'll chase a lot of rabbits, and things would go a little nutto. So anyways, I have some notes, so let me share with you what the definition of redeemed means. In biblical context, redeemed signifies being saved or delivered from sin, bondage, or evil, often through the act of buying back or paying the price. Jesus did that for me. He did it for us. He's the Redeemer. He's the one that paid the price for us. Okay? So I have been delivered from a lot of bondage in my life. This is very true. This is very true. And so each time that we get together, my hope is I share some of those little stories with you. They're not little. Let me change that. I will share some of those stories with you so that you too, if you find yourself in that type of bondage, that you'll know you're not alone and there's an other side to get to. Okay? Somebody's walking, not me hitting the lock buttons right here. Anyways, you'll see somebody walking by. Just, they don't know, but they're going to be on the episode this evening here. Oh, I didn't tell you why I am recording in my car at Baker's Island. So the nights that I had open to record, I just couldn't narrow down what I wanted to share. I just couldn't do it. And tonight, Renly comes. And when Renly's there, Mamaw is in Mamaw mode. When I walk through the door and she's there, she literally takes me by the hand back to my bedroom to where my clothes are, my like evening attire, you know. It's a sight, and it'll point to them for me to change into them. So I change into them and then I'm all hers. So there would be no recording while she's there, and I like it that way. That's perfectly fine. But I was so determined to stay consistent, even though I had to miss last week. I didn't have any control over that. I thought, I'll just record in my car. So I'm on my phone, recording in my car at Baker's Island, making the best out of it. We're all friends around here. It's okay. So anyways, thank you for coming. Thanks for showing up. If you are new here, thank you for coming. And I hope that it is the first of many times that you'll spend Thursdays with us. If you are a returner, y'all don't know what it means to me when you come back and keep listening week after week. That is such a compliment to me and such an encouragement to me. Gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. Each time we do this, we're going to get more and more comfortable, and it'll flow more and more naturally, right? It's all for God's glory. It's not about me. It's about what he has done in me. And I just want to be a mouthpiece to share that. All right, listen. Before we get into the serious stuff, you know, we gotta laugh a little bit. And today, we're going to laugh at my expense. I have an entire list of things written down that I was going to share with you. Throughout the week, I in my phone, I put little notes in of things that I want to share, like funny little occurrences or just anything I want to share. I put them in my notes, and then as it gets closer to time to record, I start putting things together. Every day I pray, like, God, what will you have me share? What do you have me share? I want the words, anything I speak, my words to be minister grace unto the hearers, right? That's what the word of God says. And I don't want to just babble, and I don't want to be a place of negativity or complaining or anything. I want this to be a positive pretend talk show. One of my friends texted me that. Anyways, but I have to tell myself today. I have to tell myself, if you can't laugh at yourself, what are you doing anyways? What are you really doing? This is a big blooper on my part. It is. It's a big blooper. Listen, I've been needing to go to the dentist for quite some time. And I decided at the first of the year that I was going to make the time to make and keep the appointments that needed to be completed. All right. Yeah. So I had made a few dentist appointments, but I canceled them because I couldn't find my dental card, like proof of coverage, my member ID, any of that. I didn't have one. Now, usually, like with my medical insurance, they send you a card, right, at the first of each year. Mine runs July to July. So, anyways, dental insurance, not like that. Mine is not like that. You have to call and request it, or so I thought. Okay. Oh my Lord, what a blooper. So I'm seeing a different dentist than I have seen for years, because the one I've seen for years doesn't take my insurance anymore. Now, I'm super bummed about that, because if you know me, you know I very much loved my dentist and her staff, and I hate to not be going there. The new dentist that I'm seeing, fine and dandy. I don't have any complaints. It's just not where I've been for the past how many ever years. Anyways, I have been calling my dental insurance repetitively. I have emailed them. I have called. No success. I can't get through. I'm on hold forever and a day. The couple times I did get through, they were of no help. They tried to guide me to go online to get the information I needed. I tried to tell them I had tried to be online. That's always my first line before I make a phone call. If you know me, you know I'm going to check online first. Checked online. I could not get anything like created. I couldn't get anything to go forward for a few different reasons. The wrong email was attached to the account that I once had set up, and it was just a mess. A mess. I was super frustrated because I have some dental issues that need addressed. They need it sooner than later. So I called today. I thought, I'm just going to make another one. And at the dentist office I used to go to, they could pull up my information by my social security number, my dental insurance. I've never had a dental insurance card, actual card, okay? I said never. I'm not sure. Not with the company that I have currently. Anyways. So I'm like, I just need an appointment. So I call the receptionist, 2 thumbs up, okay? This is not a slam on her. This is a slam on me. This is a slam on your old buddy Maxie. So I call. She's like, can I have your member ID? I said, ma'am, I don't have it. I've tried and tried to get it. And then I just start. You have to know me. Well, you probably get a good sense if you're watching these. I can't give just a 1 or 2 line answer. I'm like, I have tried and tried. I do not have one. I don't know how to get one. I've been online. I've tried to call. No success. Okay. She's like, what insurance do you have? So I tell her, and she's like, well, everyone else that has that insurance has a card. I said, how did they get it? I mean, like, I don't know. And I said, are you sure we have the same employer? Yep. I said, I don't know what to do. And so I even told her about, like, hey, normally they put it in by my social security number, whatever. And she's like, no, you have to have your card. And she was like, everyone else that has this insurance has to have, they have a card, so you have to have it. And I said, I don't know how to get it. I do not have access. I've tried. And then I just start vomiting, like, all the words I can say, not in a mean way, but like really out of frustration. Like, I have tried. I cannot get one. I've even canceled appointments because I don't have a card with my member ID number, blah, blah, blah. Well, bless her heart, she was a trooper. She did her very best. She was like, let me look back in your file, because I've been there one other time. Just one other time in 2023. Okay, 2023. Let's all remember 2024 was my extended winter season. If you don't know what that means, go a few episodes back, but that was the year of mom for me, okay? So she was like, yeah, there's one in here from 2023. I was like, what? How did it get there? I said, like, who sent it to you? Because I thought maybe the insurance company had emailed them one. She said, you did. You brought it in your appointment, and I scanned it in. I said, no, are you sure? I said, I don't recall doing that. She said it was something you had printed off online. Okay. I said, I stand corrected. I acknowledged my wrong. I said, I stand corrected. Thank you. I'm sorry, but I don't have one. I mean, I don't. Anyway, so we kind of laughed about it. Now, I'm going to give this shout out. I don't know her until I go back. Her name is Tammy, and it's in Summersville. It's Kingdom Family Health Dentistry. That's where I'm going. Let's just put all my business on the internet, right? If you know her in real life, tell her she really is good at her job. Tell her that the girl that just vomited frustration is very sorry. And that's not my normal behavior, but I need to get in that bad. But anyways, so I was like, are you serious? She's like, yeah. What? I gave her the card. No, I had printed it offline. But when I tried to get back on to create that, or to log in or create an account, whatever, I couldn't proceed because I didn't know what email address I had put with it. And I didn't know the password, and I didn't know my member. I couldn't get anywhere. Okay. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Me, I was the problem. I was the problem all along. Okay. So then I call my insurance company today, because now I'm like, what? Finally, I get a hold of them. Finally, I get somebody. Now, this cat that I talked to, I don't know how old he is. I don't know. He sounded like to me he had just left school for the day. Like he's on school work release, Young fella. He starts with, what's your member ID? If I knew my member ID, I would not be as frustrated as I am. I said, I don't know, bud. I said, I just verified my last 4 of my social. I said, can you pull it up with it? Yeah. Tell me them again. Okay. So I tell him. So we get pulled up slowly. Now we are at turtle speed. There's nothing fast about this. Anyway, so slowly but surely, I say, I either need you to fax me, email me, mail me, somehow get me an insurance card. I need one. Nope, can't do that. I said, someone's going to do something. I've got to have my insurance card. I've got to get to the dentist. I have a couple issues. I mean, I told him more than he cared to hear, too. Anyways, he said, well, if you can't get on your online account, have you tried the app? I said, this is the first time hearing about an app. What's the app? I said. So he told me, I said, okay, I'll download it. So as I was downloading it, it came up, and to get in, guess what I needed? Guess. The member ID. I said, sir, can you just give me my member ID number so I can write it down? Please? Please? He did. Now, it took him a few minutes. I mean, it was like I was asking him for someone else's social security number or finances or taxes. No, sir, this is my policy. It comes out of my check every 2 weeks. Like, I just need my information. So, anyways, got me on the app. I got on there. Now I have a screenshot. I don't know. Took a picture of whatever, my card. And so I think we're in good shape now. But here's my dilemma. So y'all tell me what to do. I don't know whether to call that girl back tomorrow and like apologize for being a crazy woman. I wasn't rude or inappropriate, and I didn't there was no profanities. I didn't swear, put her down, scream. No, but I was argumentative. Okay. Out of frustration, really. And so, but I was still wrong because I provided something in 2023. So anyways, I don't know whether I should call her or when I go to my appointment, take her like a little treat, like a little little Snickers, little candle, little something, something, pack of gum, something to say, I'm sorry about that. Anyways, just let me know. But there's my blooper for the day. I don't have a card. I kept saying, I don't have it. She was like, yeah, you provided it in 2023. Oh, shoot. All right, so there's the blooper story on me. Gosh, isn't that something? You just forget. I forget stuff. Look, now I had a chef salad from the Springs today. Hold the onions, hold the ham, add extra turkey with honey French dressing. And I got a little dab right here. Got a little dab that I just noticed. Okay. Also, didn't put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So I'm getting some notifications. I hope that's not coming through. Alrighty. I know I said we weren't going to necessarily have a Webster County segment, but we've got some Webster County news that it's worthy of talking about. Okay? It is. It is. We have an egg stand in Bolaire. Do y'all know what an egg stand is? I really didn't know what it was until she put it up. I didn't know. So my friend Melissa has an egg stand, and she built this cute little stand, and they have all sorts of chickens. So they have all sorts of eggs, and she brings the eggs up there, and you pay for them there. I guess it's like the honor policy, or maybe, I think it is the honor policy. Like you pay for them when you get them, or I think there's an option that you can like electronically pay her as well. I just think that's so cute. Little egg stand right there. In Bolaire, and she keeps it stocked, and you cannot beat the price of the eggs. I think they're like $3 something, $3 or $4, I don't know, but I think that is super cute. So we have another addition in the county of something super cute. We have a little farm stand is what they call it. I was calling it a food stand, but I saw Christina post farm stand. Adorable. So it's Christy and Christina, and in the Cowan area. I think it's called Downtown Delights. Look them up on Facebook and like their page. And they will, there's somebody running, not for exercise. I'm not sure, they're just running. Anyways, Downtown Delights. Look them up on Facebook and like their page, and they will post when they have items or when the stand is for sale. But I'm telling you, the stand is not for sale, but items at the stand for sale. That stand is the cutest little stand I ever did see. Christy's husband built it, and it is just laid out so cute, and they have a little built-in refrigerator. Well, they had some of Melissa's eggs there, so we went down Saturday, and we got some eggs, and we got some just delicious goodies. Christy, I think, makes like the bread products. She does sourdough, so there was pretzels, bagels, bread, all sorts of goodies. I went with some pretzels and a little cheese. The cheese had a little kick to it. Pretzels delicious. The kick, that's not a complaint. It was good, really good. And I got bagels. I really like the bagels. I only got 2 of those, and I was thinking I wish I'd have got a few more. And then Christina does kind of more of the sweets, I think. Now I could have this wrong, but I think. And she had like these little mini cakes, is what I called them. They were so cute. But I'll tell you what I got of hers that I really liked. Strawberry jam. I'm ready for another jar of it. Now, she had like some peanut butter candy and some cookies. I regret not getting the cookies, but listen, I keep telling myself it's early in the season. They will open it frequently, so I'll have the opportunity to go back down. See that self-control I'm trying to implement. But anyways, super cute. Love it. The farm stand is adorable. The egg stand, adorable. And great prices. Check both of them out on Facebook. Downtown Delights. I keep wanting to call it Delicious Downtown. What? I don't know. It is delicious food. Anyways, good stuff. Keep it up, girls. I'm going to say this little add in. Christy is a friend of mine. I've known for quite some time. We're not BFFs or anything, but I'd consider her a good friend. But she is also a friend that I look at as we have a lot of things in common. We have some similarities, is what I was going to say. Her parents were older when they had her. My parents were older when they had me. So both of her parents have went on to heaven. Both of my parents have went on to heaven. And so I often think about her now, you know, when I go through some of the holidays and some of the firsts, and just, you just think of people that have walked through that. And so I think of her a lot. And she's also one that I reach out to. It was last year. it was a big misunderstanding. My feelings were hurt. I was hurt that I hurt someone else unintentionally. It was a huge misunderstanding. But I knew that Christy was also friends with this mutual person, and Christy's opinion of me matters. And I know we can all say, well, don't worry about what other people think. There are certain people in your life that it does matter. It just does. And I just think so highly of her. So I called her to talk to her. And when I called her, all I could do was cry. I don't even know if I got words out. I boo-hooed, cried. And so I, to this day, appreciate her patience, her tolerance, and just her for loving me for me. Like, she was totally cool. And yeah. So anyways, that's just a little added story. I appreciate those people in my life. So, okay, let's get to it. Oh my gosh. This is the part I didn't want to do today. And I swore that I wasn't going to do it. And I'm going to do it. Okay. Oh, Jiminy. My last episode, which was 2 weeks ago, I didn't like it. I critiqued it and critiqued it and critiqued it until I just couldn't critique it anymore. I stayed up early in the morning thinking I'll just delete it and I won't post. But it's important to me to stay consistent, because I think each time that I do this, I'm going to grow and I'm going to work out some blind spots, right? That episode, it just haunted me. It haunted me. I did not like the way that I did it. There was just way too many words. There was way too many words. Now, we've been going for 21 minutes. You're probably thinking, way too many words for you? Yes, I just overdid it. I did the video when I was too nervous. And I also got in my head about, I didn't want to offend anyone. Well, I mean, that's never my intent, but sometimes that might happen. And so I tried to overcompensate. I just over everything in that video. I did. And really, the point that I was trying to make was short and sweet. Listen, I wrote it down before I got on the air to say it last time. So I brought it with me. So let me get this off my chest and clarify what the point of that video was. And then we will not discuss it again. Done and sealed it will be. I will let it go. And I will not rehearse it again. No. The point of that episode that I'm referring to was to talk about moms of little kids and how lonely you are during that season. There's no other way to put it than you are going to have years probably that you feel very lonely. And at that time, you'll feel like it's going to last forever. But in reality, the loneliness won't last forever. And so when the time comes that you'll start interacting with adults again, you'll either reconnect with old friends or you'll make new friends. My suggestion to the moms of littles or people that are lonely and they reconnect with these friends or connect with new ones is be selective about who you let close to you in your inner circle. Make sure they value what you value and they're going the same way in life that you desire to go in life. And the scripture that always comes up when I think about that is in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. And I'm going to read it to you out of the NLT version. It's simple, short, and sweet. Bad company corrupts good character. Ba-bam. That was the message. That was the message. Did that message come across? I don't think so. It got lost. It got lost in all my over-explaining. So there's the message, point blank. Won't last forever. That season won't. But be selective who you surround yourself with. That can go for all of us right now. But sometimes when you're super lonely, you'll take whoever gives you attention, and they may not have your best interests at heart. So right there, remember, surround yourself with people going in the same way you are and with the values you have. Okay, it's done. That's done. Let it go. Let it go. I've got to get a little sip. My throat's getting dry. Done. Done. Let's move on. Here we go. Yes, still working on guests for May. We've just been playing some phone tag, but hopefully We'll have 2 guests in May. Can't wait. Both of them have redemption stories that we all will be inspired by. For real. Let's go. So as I was thinking this week, what am I going to share? I went back and forth, gosh, on so much stuff. What am I going to talk about? What am I going to share? What do I want people to leave with after the episode? Here's what I settled on today. Now, I not only give this a lot of thought, I give it a lot of prayer. Because again, I don't want it to be about me. I want to use my experiences, sure. But ultimately, I want it to point to Christ, okay? It's not about anything I do or don't do. It's about Him. So, here's what I settled on today. I wanted to share with you a little life experience I have about being the second choice. The second choice. Not the first choice, the second choice. Just saying that, I want you to take a minute and think to yourself, what if I was the second choice? How does that make you feel? It probably makes you feel some sort of way. It did me. I'll tell you that. It did me, for sure. So let's go on back. It actually was a job offer years ago. 24 years to be exact. I'll tell you, you'll figure out why I know those exact years here in just a second. But anyways, I saw this job opportunity, and it truly seemed like a perfect fit for me. The location, the hours, what the work was, no home visits, which I had done in between graduating college and starting this job. I had a couple different jobs. One of them consisted of doing home visits, working with families, and you had to like go to court and stuff. That was not my strength, not my cup of tea. It didn't take me long to realize I want to work with the other end of the population, the geriatric, the adults, okay? So I go to the interview, I apply, I go to the interview. I thought I nailed the interview. I thought this went great. It could not have went any better. And I went to that interview literally 8 months pregnant. I was knocking right on the door of 9 months. Whew, I wobbled around. During that interview, they showed me around. It was hard to find an outfit, but I did. I mean, I wouldn't say I looked the prettiest, but you know, you do what you have to do, right? So anyways, I thought, I nailed that. This is going to be great for me and my family. I'm telling you, in my mind, I had it built up that I had gotten the position. I mean, I was thrilled. Just couldn't wait. So a couple days went by, and I don't know if it was the call or a letter. I can't remember, but I learned I did not get that position. And I knew the other girl that applied for it. Great gal. They would not have went wrong with her. She's fantastic. So they picked her. I was like, oh, okay. Alrighty. Well, one, it hurts when you don't get the position that you want, or you think that you want anyways, right? That just hurts. Rejection, period, hurts. I mean, it does. You know, it does. So anyways, I didn't get it, and a couple weeks went by. Man, those 2 weeks, I just was really hard on myself. I just pouted around, you know. Oh my goodness. Well, so anyways, then I get a call from the administrator of that facility. She was like, hey, you still interested in the position? Yeah, I said, I am. But I said, I am interested, but let me make sure you're aware. I'm due to give birth any day. That's the truth. I really was. She said, oh, yes, I know. You know, I mean, it's like that. I mean, not like they couldn't tell when I was there for the interview. My gosh. So anyways, I said, I'm very interested. Yes. And she said, okay. And so she continued to tell me about the position again. It was a lot of what I'd already heard at the interview. But then she said, now I'm going to call this girl Mary. It's not her real name, but I'm not going to say her real name. Anyway, she said, oh, now this administrator too, she was very blunt and very direct. And so she said, oh, Mary didn't take the position. She declined it. I was like, oh, yeah? She said, yeah. She had another opportunity. So she had accepted initially and then declined the position. I said, oh, okay. Now, as she was saying that, because my mind works the way my mind works, all I heard was, you're the default. Like, so Mary didn't take it. not only was I just the next in line, I also was the only one. There was only 2 of us that interviewed. So I was like, what's your other choices? So anyway, she said, yeah. So she didn't take it, so we thought we'd give you a call. Oh, I mean, you know, that hurt. It did. It hurt. Some people wouldn't give that a second thought. I'm not some people. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, great. I mean, I wasn't going to pass it up. It's still, all the perks of it didn't change just because I was their second choice, okay? Still close to home, still great pay, great schedule, and my sister was going to be watching our son, and like I could see out the window and see her house. So that's how close it was. So I could go up on lunch. I mean, there were just so many perks to it. I was not going to turn it down. And I didn't. I said, yes, yeah. So we worked through, you know, some of the red tape and hiring and different things. And then I had the baby. So I was off. I didn't start actually until he was 6 weeks old. Even saying that is still hard on my mom's heart. I'll never forget, it was just a little thing. He was 6 weeks old when I had to start to work full time. I'm not the only woman that has to do that. I know that very well. It's hard. It hurts. Oh my goodness. So he was in good hands though. So I start work. I walk in my first day. So you're not only walking into a brand new position that you were the second choice for, but you're a first-time mom, hadn't been away from the child at all in 6 weeks, and now you're gone for 8 hours. If you are a mom that has to leave their child on a regular basis, you get it. You know what I'm talking about. So I was trying to keep it together. First day, new job, you want to make a good impression. Okay, you want to make a good impression. And in my mind, I felt like I almost had something to prove because I was the second choice. Now, I know now that wasn't true. But at the time, that's what I felt like. Okay? So, here we go. Around the building, and she's introducing me to other staff. And again, this administrator, I mean, listen, she worked there. We only worked together, I think, a month, maybe 2 months. And then she took another position. That's okay. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, anyways, moving on. Keeping this positive, right? When she would introduce me to staff, she would add in there, this is Maxetta. She's our new social worker. Mary didn't take the position, so we called her. This is Maxetta. She's our new social worker. Mary declined. She's not going to be here. This is every time I couldn't just be, this is Maxetta, she's our new social worker. This is Maxetta, she's our new social worker. And every time she said it, it was like a knife to the heart. It was just a jab. And in my mind, I just kept hearing, you weren't as qualified. You're not as good. You're less than. You weren't what they initially wanted, but you're just kind of what they got. I'm not saying any of that was true. I'm saying that's how my mind was working at the time. Remember, hormonal, just, I mean, I still didn't have clothes I could fit in. My feet were still puffy. I wasn't sleeping. You know, there was a lot going on, okay? Nervous. I was so nervous. And so anyways, I get settled in, and I feel like I have to do an exceptional job. Like, I don't want them to regret the second choice, right? So, I mean, I throw myself in there. I'm learning. I'm doing my very, very best. But I just still feel, I couldn't shake the thought of being the second choice. Now, for some of you all, you won't get that. You'll be like, well, that's silly. But for me, I don't know. I'm not going to get in and get real deep, but I wanted to be the first choice. I wanted to be wanted by that facility. I wanted them to, like, think I brought value and I could, you know, do the job well. Now, listen, they may have thought all of that, but just someone else, for whatever reason, was their first choice. Okay? It's fine. So one day I was talking to my mom and dad about it. I was at their house and I was whining around. When I say talking to them, I mean whining around about it, okay? One of them, and I'm pretty sure it was my mom, she was like, just be grateful for the job. Now, between you and me, I think she's just trying to get me to shut up because she's tired of hearing me whine about it. You can't blame her. But she's like, just be grateful. It's close to, where the baby is. It's close to home. It's Monday through Friday. You're not doing the home visits. All the stuff that I had whined about, right? I was like, that's right, Mom. That's right. I don't know. I thought about it a little bit. And then it was time to go back to work Monday. And I thought, just be grateful. Just be grateful. So I had to start almost convincing myself to be grateful. And so I would remind myself of all the perks and all the pluses of this job. And little by little, by stirring up that gratitude and lessening the complaining, honestly, my mindset started to shift. It did. It really did. I just started to be great. What? Why did words get hard so quickly? I just reminded myself, and I started to be more grateful than more doubtful of myself. I was grateful that I had the opportunity to be there. I was grateful for the pay, grateful for the benefits, the schedule. The people that I worked with were fantastic. They made it so much fun, so wonderful. Still have great memories of them. So close to my son. I went up there on lunch break. I mean, there was so much to be grateful for. But I had to choose to magnify what I had to be grateful for. I had to choose that when those thoughts came of being second choice or being not enough or whatever, I had to choose, nope, stop it. I cut those babies off with gratefulness. And so slowly but surely, and I'd have to remind myself sometimes, be grateful you have this job. Be grateful you have this job. You could be out there going back into homes and getting ready to go to court. Attitude of gratitude. It just started to shift something in me. And honestly, it built my confidence quite a bit. The more grateful I was for the position and for the opportunities to learn and the people I was meeting, grateful for the paycheck. Your first pay, when you get out of college, you get your first real job. I had a couple real jobs and they were good, but this paycheck was bigger. So it's like, yeah, let's go. I look back now and think, oh gosh, that was a stepping stone. But anyways, just the attitude of gratitude shifted a lot in me. And it gave me the confidence to be the best social worker there I could be. It also, as I stirred up the attitude of gratitude, it also made me realize that I was there at the perfect time. No matter how I got there, first choice, second choice, whatever, I was there on purpose for a purpose. So, yeah, I share all of that to share. Even when it's not ideal, when you didn't get exactly what you want, or you may not feel like you're their first choice, stir up and magnify gratitude. Let that be bigger than what didn't happen or what you weren't. I'm just a big fan of stirring up gratitude. You can hold two things at once. You can be grateful for something and still just kind of be bummed that you weren't their first choice. And gratitude doesn't negate that I wasn't their first choice. It does not make that any less true. It does not make it any less true that someone else got the job over me for whatever reason. And because they declined the job, I got the job. But gratitude is still bigger. And I believe gratitude goes hand in hand with the peace of God. And that's what it built in me, is I became more peaceful as I went to work, more confident in my ability to do the job. I have a friend that back in 2023, when I first started this, she had sent me a message to maybe touch on a topic that was near and dear to her heart. And I think as I was preparing this little story to share with you, her story immediately come up. And I think this is applicable. She has been with a company for a long time, does a great job. and has applied for different positions in management positions, and she hasn't been chosen for any. She's been passed by. Well, of course that's hurtful, and of course she's upset about it. That's right. But as I was thinking about her, I was thinking about myself in that second choice position, just stirring up the gratitude that you have a job, being content in the position that you're at, and knowing that God doesn't waste anything. So the position you're in may not be the ones you've applied for and that, you're pursuing. It doesn't make your position any less valuable, and it doesn't make you as an employee any less valuable. Stir up the attitude of gratitude and release yourself from the heaviness of the rejection, right? Because bottom line, that's what it is. That's what mine was. And nobody likes to be rejected. But stirring up gratitude and magnifying gratitude, it will begin to shift. It'll begin to shift all that heaviness of the anger, of the hurt, of the whys and the what ifs. Gratitude will make that change when it becomes bigger. And you have to choose it. You have to be intentional about choosing it. You have to voice it. You've got to focus on it. And as you begin to stir it up, it will come out of you naturally. And it'll be your line of defense when those thoughts come of, why didn't I get chosen? Why am I not good enough? What's wrong with me? You stir up the attitude of gratitude, and it will begin to smash them. Be grateful you have the ability to do what you do. Be grateful for all the perks of the position that you do have, and be grateful that God is still in control, and you get to trust Him that for whatever reason you weren't chosen, and He's got you, in the position that you're in, and be content in that while believing Him for advancement if that's your desire. But do your best where you're at, and just know that God doesn't waste anything. So He didn't waste me getting chosen second. Actually, I learned quite a bit from it. He didn't waste the time that I was beating myself up. No, I grew in my gratitude. So I hope that will encourage you. I do want to leave you with a couple scriptures. I had to print them off because I couldn't lug all my Bible and all of that stuff. I had to run Chris home. And anyways, I didn't grab a Bible. I had this printed off. So let me share these couple scriptures with you. When I share scriptures, I do like to share them in different versions, because I like how each of them read, and you can learn from each of them. But today you're getting one. Okie doke. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. Well, that's a word, isn't it? Chapter 5, verse 18. In everything give thanks, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Then the little study note it says that this verse highlights that gratitude should be a constant practice, not just a fleeting emotion. A constant practice. Just like when you practice a sport, you get better and better and better at it, and you become more and more comfortable with it. We get to practice gratitude. Each time we practice it, we get better and better and better at it. It becomes our nature. It becomes our automatic response. In Philippians chapter 4, verse 6, it says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, letting your requests be known to God. The little study note with it says, this verse connects gratitude with prayer and finding peace in God's presence. I love that. And that's exactly what happened to me. As I began to pray and express gratitude to God for the blessing of the job, no matter how I got it, it truly did connect me with Him in His presence, and it truly made His peace bigger in me. It really did. It really did. So be encouraged by those. I don't know. If you have a topic you want me to try to tackle, send it to me. You can leave it in the comments, or you can DM me on Facebook or Instagram. But thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to that little it's I hate to say little, because a time period it probably was, but that was a big deal to me. God really redeemed me from derogatory comments about myself, from beating myself up, from doubting myself. And I was really in bondage to that for a little while in that position, but in others also. So as I learned gratitude in that position, it carried over to other aspects of my life, and he redeemed me, in those areas too. Someday, as we become closer friends, I'll share that with some of those with you. But anyway, so the attitude of gratitude, it's not just a catchy saying. There's really some truth behind it, and there's definitely some strength behind it. So be encouraged. Thank you for being here. Please make sure you're subscribed on both YouTube and the podcast. Please share this on your social media if you like it. It just takes a second to share it and, encourage others to take a listen if you so feel that it will benefit others. Make sure that also that you have your notifications on so that each time I post a video or a podcast, you'll get notified. And please feel free to hit the little thumbs up button on YouTube and let me know that you like it. Leave me some comments. Oh, I love the comments, y'all. If you're listening by podcast, please leave me a 5-star review. It helps it really helps the podcast get some traction so other people will listen. And just keep coming back with us. No, there's no intro or outro music. You're correct. You are correct. Will there ever be? Who knows? Who absolutely knows? We're going to do the best we can with what we've got right now. I'm in between. I shared with you before that the podcast host, the recording host, that I had at one point, the subscription price, it's just too much. I'm not going to do that. So now I got to figure out how to get some music on the videos, because I'm probably going to go back to the Zoom format. So we'll get it, right? You're not here for the music. You're not here for the music anyways. You're here for the community. You're here to learn that you're not alone, and that in the natural, you might have been the second choice, but there was a good growing opportunity for you in that time of your life. All right, let's go. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me know what you think. Be gentle when you do, and come back Thursday, and please share this with others. Like it, subscribe, follow along, and be sure to follow the Downtown Delights, is that right, on Facebook, and visit their stand, get you some goodies, and get to Melissa's stand in Bolaire and get you some eggs. All right, have a good evening. Thanks. It wasn't bad at all in the car, was it? We didn't really have anybody bother us. There wasn't any noise. Who knows? We might be car recorders. Who knows? Let's go.